During Christmas at my parents', my 8-year-old daughter opened her gift box and went pale. She clutched my hand and whispered, "Mommy, I'm scared." I looked inside. The gift seemed normal at first, but then I froze. My hands started shaking. 5 minutes later, I called the police. If you'd asked me that morning, I would have said the worst part of Christmas was the dried-out turkey, or my mother humming passive-aggressively through the chaos. I would have said it was the noise, or maybe the performance we all put on to pretend we like each other. I would have been wrong. The worst part of Christmas was watching my daughter freeze in place with a gift box in her lap, like the floor had opened beneath her and no one else had noticed. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We were at my parents' house, the same house I grew up in, same creaky floorboards, same smell of cinnamon-scented potpourri, and emotional avoidance. The living room was bursting with people and presents, kids tearing paper, adults talking over each other, laughter that was a little too loud. You know the kind. It's a tradition in our family that every kid gets a gift from every adult, and sometimes the kids even get each other things. It's a whole production, wrapping paper flying, tags going missing, someone always losing track of who gave what to whom. My daughter had a small mountain of presents by her side. She was happy. Genuinely happy, which I hadn't seen in a while. I was watching her from across the room, and for a moment I let myself breathe. She picked up a box, medium-sized, wrapped in shiny red foil. She smiled, peeled the tape back carefully, like she always does. No rush, just her little hands opening the lid. And then she stopped. The expression on her face changed so fast I thought I imagined it. Her shoulders tensed. Her smile vanished. Her whole body went still. I froze too. Something in me knew. You know that drop in your stomach? The one that tells you you're about to learn something you can't unlearn? She looked up. Her eyes were wide and scared. She didn't say anything, just stood up slowly, like she was afraid the box would detonate if she moved too fast. Still holding the open box in both hands, she walked toward me, her face drained of color. She reached for my hand and whispered, "Mommy, I'm scared." Then, almost inaudibly, "Just look. Don't say it." I glanced down. The box was still open in her arms, tilted slightly toward me. I looked inside. At first, I was confused. It was a toy. Harmless. Ordinary. Nothing obviously wrong. But then I looked closer. And froze. Everything around me, the lights, the noise, the smell of baked ham, all of it dropped away. It was like time paused. Or maybe I did. I didn't say anything. Couldn't. I looked up and scanned the room. My dad was laughing, holding a paper crown above his head. My mom was fussing with the table settings like they might spontaneously combust without her supervision. My sister was deep in conversation with someone, gesturing with a wine glass. The kids were on the floor comparing toys. Everything looked normal, but it wasn't. "Come on," I said quietly. "Let's get some air." Someone's voice floated from behind me. "Everything okay?" I smiled like a woman whose soul wasn't trying to crawl out through her chest. "She's not feeling great. We'll just be outside for a moment." I took the box. We walked to the car. Neither of us spoke. My daughter climbed into the back seat, curled up, holding her knees. I slid into the front passenger seat and stared at the thing in my hands, the toy, the box, the weight of it. I felt the sting before I realized I was crying. My fingers were cold, my chest was hot. I was holding something small, but it felt like it could crush me. And I knew, absolutely, unshakably knew, that nothing about this day or this life would ever be the same again. 2 minutes later, I called the police. It was quiet in the car, the kind of quiet that presses down on your shoulders. I could hear my own breath. Maisie's, too. Shaky, shallow. The lights from the house still glowed through the windshield. Someone laughed inside. I didn't care who. Everything was different now. And if I wanted to explain why, if I wanted to make sense of how something so small could shatter everything, I'd have to start a long time before tonight. I'm the older sister. That alone probably tells you half of it. 5 years between us, me and Megan, and from the time she could walk, she was the favorite. I was the reliable one, the one who cleaned up, the one who didn't cause problems. Megan never followed rules. She made scenes, skipped consequences, charmed her way out of everything. And our parents? They treated her like a firework, dangerous, but beautiful, untouchable. Me? I got straight A's, stayed out of trouble, held it all together. And for that, I got responsibility. Expectations. Silence. By the time we were teenagers, the pattern was set. Megan messed up, I cleaned it up, and nobody talked about it. Years later, she got married, had 3 kids fast. Everyone said she was finally growing up. She wasn't. She still made reckless choices and expected someone else to carry the weight, usually me. She'd text me late at night. "Can you help? It's for the kids." And for a while, I did. Until I realized what it was really for. Not diapers or groceries, but delivery apps, online shopping, spa visits. I drew the line. I told her, "You have a husband. I have a family too. I'm not rich." She sulked. But the asking slowed down. By then, my life had already changed. I'd met Owen. He had a baby boy, Theo, just over a year old when I came into their lives. His ex had left when Theo was 10 months old. Not a custody battle. No drama. She just left, signed the papers, and disappeared. Theo was quiet at first, watchful, but sweet. I loved him fast, and fully. He started calling me Mom before his 2nd birthday. I didn't correct him. Maisie was born 2.5 years later. She came into a house that already had love in it, real love. She and Theo were close from the beginning. They weren't half anything, just siblings, loud, inseparable, completely bonded. We were a unit. We were fine, until 6 months ago. Theo disappeared during lunch at school. He told his teacher he forgot something in his backpack. He left the cafeteria. He never came back. No one saw who he left with. No one saw where he went. No security footage, no note, no sound. Just gone. The police were involved immediately. They searched everywhere, found nothing but his backpack, dumped behind a hedge a few blocks away. No ransom, no contact, no leads. We stopped sleeping. Owen stopped talking. Maisie cried in her sleep for weeks. I stopped waiting for updates and started preparing for silence. I told myself we'd get through Christmas. We'd fake it for Maisie's sake. Smile, show up, survive. Then she opened that box. Now we were in the car, me holding the box, her watching me in the mirror. I looked at the toy again. It still looked harmless. It still looked like nothing. But there was a mark, a detail, a tiny, specific imperfection, something no one else would notice unless they already knew. And I did. Maisie's voice was barely a whisper. "He had it when he went to school that day." I didn't answer. I didn't have to. I picked up my phone, and I called the police. The police arrived about 15 minutes after I called them. They pulled up in a marked cruiser, calm and quiet, like they were just here to check on a neighbor's dog barking too late at night. Maisie and I were still sitting in the car, the box between us. My hands were ice. Her knees were tucked up to her chest, face turned away from me. After the officers stepped out, I met them halfway up the driveway, box in my arms. They asked a few questions. I answered like I was underwater. When I handed over the toy, I kept thinking maybe it would turn out to be something else, that there would be some explanation, that maybe I was wrong, but I wasn't. They found the card inside the wrapping. Sadie's name, Megan's daughter. They came into the house. Everyone watched them like someone had opened the front door and let winter blow in. The room deflated. They asked to speak with Megan and Sadie. Megan didn't resist. They stepped into the den. It was all very calm, very procedural. Sadie said she found the toy in the house. Wanted to give a gift. Wrapped it herself. Megan said they had toys everywhere. Could have come from anywhere. She said it with a smile that was just a little too still. Owen arrived while they were still inside. He stood next to me without a word. We both watched like we were seeing a replay of something we'd lived through already. The police took the toy, said they'd follow up. Then they left. The party didn't recover. An hour passed, maybe more. I sat at the kitchen table with my hands in my lap. Owen leaned against the counter. Neither of us had moved. That was his toy, I said quietly. He had it with him when he left for school. The marker line, the crack in the wing, that was his. Owen didn't respond. We both knew what it meant. But the worst part was, it also meant something else. It meant maybe, just maybe, Theo was alive. That thought hit me like ice and fire at the same time. After a while, we stood up. We walked down the hall. The lights were dimmer now. The conversations hushed. We passed the Christmas tree, the discarded wrapping, all the pieces of a normal day that no longer meant anything. Megan was sitting alone in the sunroom, scrolling through her phone like she was trying to pretend everything was still fine. We stepped in. She looked up. Her smile flickered. "Hey," she said. "Everything settled now?" Owen didn't speak. I did. "We need to talk. Now." Her face twitched. "About what?" "That toy. The one Sadie gave Maisie." She set her phone down. "I already told the police. Sadie found it in the house. Probably something someone left ages ago." Owen stepped forward. "He had that toy with him when he disappeared." She blinked. "You can't be sure." "We are," I said. "Maisie remembers. I remember. Owen remembers. He never went to your house. So how did his toy end up there?" She laughed, but it sounded paper thin. "I don't know. Maybe someone brought it over. Maybe he visited once and you forgot." Owen's voice cut through. "We didn't forget. He never went to your house." Her smile faded. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. I took a step closer. "Because the police are going to come back. They're going to ask more questions. They'll trace where the toy came from. And when they find out what you did, you won't get the chance to explain it to us first." Her face went pale. She looked at Owen, then at me, then away. "Please don't tell them," she said quietly. "Please." "Tell us first," I said. "Right now." She hesitated. Bit her lip. Her eyes filled, but she didn't let the tears fall. Not yet. Then she nodded. Once. "It was Theo's mom," she said. "She called me months ago, said she just wanted to see him, just talk to him, said she missed him so much." My chest tightened. "She offered me money," Megan whispered. "I didn't ask for it. She offered. And I needed it. You said you wouldn't help me anymore. I was behind on bills. I didn't think it would be a big deal." Owen's fists clenched, but he still didn't speak. "She said it would be one visit, 1 hour. I told her when Theo had lunch, she promised to bring him back." She swallowed. "He didn't come back. She disappeared. I called her. Nothing. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I kept thinking she'd bring him back the next day. And then another day. And then I stopped calling." Her voice broke. "Please," she said. "I have 3 kids. I didn't mean for it to go this far." I felt the air leave the room. "You let us believe he was dead," I said. Owen turned his head. His voice was rough. "We buried him in our minds, every night, for 6 months. Megan sobbed. "I didn't know what else to do." I didn't say it, but I thought it. "You could have told the truth." Megan was still crying when we walked out. Not the loud, performative kind she used to fake to get out of trouble, but the silent, gutted kind. I didn't feel sorry for her, not even a little. Owen didn't speak. He opened the car door, got in, and stared out the windshield like he was trying to figure out how the hell the world still looked the same. We drove straight to the police station. We told them everything. The meeting, the money, the silence, the lie she sat on for 6 months while we imagined our son dead in a ditch, or worse. The officers didn't say much, just wrote everything down. One said, "Thank you, we'll handle it from here." Which I guess is what you say when 2 people just drop their grief on your desk like a grenade. Megan was arrested the next day. Obstruction, they said. Maybe more later. The details didn't matter. I didn't answer when she called. Owen didn't even look at the phone. The house felt like a morgue. We didn't turn on music. We didn't finish cleaning up the Christmas decorations. We just existed, in limbo, hoping the phone would ring again, but this time with something that mattered. Maisie asked if we should take down the tree. I told her not yet. She didn't press. I sat by the window with coffee that kept going cold. Owen stood in the hallway like he was waiting for someone to come back from the dead. That's when the phone rang. Not the police. My mom. I shouldn't have picked up, but I did. "How could you do this to your sister?" she snapped. No hello. No pause. I blinked. "Excuse me? Call the police? On your own family? You humiliated her. You destroyed everything." For a second, I didn't have words. Then I found some. She arranged a meeting behind our backs, with Theo's mother. She let him go, Mom. She didn't say a word for 6 months. "She made a mistake," my mother said. "She just wanted to help, and it's not like he's your real son. He has a mother. Maybe that's where he belongs." I didn't respond. I just stared at the wall. Then I hung up. Owen walked in a moment later. He didn't ask what she said. Maybe he didn't need to. 3 days later, the phone rang again. This time, Owen answered. He didn't speak, just held the phone out to me like it was about to explode. "Mrs. Gray?" the voice said when I picked up. "Yes." "We found her. Theo's biological mother. She's been living under a false name in Arkansas." I couldn't breathe. He's alive." My legs gave out. I sank onto the couch like gravity had made a personal decision about me. They arranged a video call. Not ideal, but I didn't care. I would have taken a voicemail or a pixelated photo or a post-it note with his name on it. I just needed to see him. We were escorted into a room at the precinct. There was a laptop on the table, a tech guy setting things up like it was just another Tuesday. Owen sat stiffly beside me. He hadn't said much since we got the call. I think part of him didn't believe it yet. I wasn't sure I did either. Then the screen flickered. And there he was. Theo. He looked different. Paler. Older. His hair was longer. He wasn't smiling. But it was him. I forgot how to breathe. "Hey," I managed. My voice cracked. He stared at the screen. Not angry, just cautious. "She told me you didn't want me," he said quietly. "Said you told her to come get me." Something inside me splintered. "That's not true," I said. "We never stopped looking for you. Not once." Owen leaned in. His voice was steady but thin. "You're ours. Always." Theo looked down, rubbed his sleeve, then looked back up. I didn't believe her. Not at first. But then she said it over and over. I didn't know what to think. "You know now," I said. He nodded. Just once. The screen froze for a second. Someone on the other end said we had to wrap up. "We're coming to get you," Owen said. Theo didn't smile, but he didn't look afraid anymore either. "Okay," he said. "I'll be here." That night, I sat alone in the dark, the Christmas lights still blinking behind me. I didn't cry until everyone else was asleep. Not loud, not messy, just tears that came like a storm breaking after a drought. Theo was coming home, and for the first time in 6 months, I believed it. Theo came home on a Thursday. He stepped off the train with a state caseworker at his side and a duffel bag that didn't look like it belonged to him. When he saw us, me, Owen, and Maisie, standing just behind the yellow line, he hesitated, like he wasn't sure it was real. Maisie ran first, straight into him. He dropped the bag and hugged her like he'd been underwater and she was air. I walked up slower. Owen didn't move at all. His face was stone. I knelt in front of Theo. "Hi, sweetheart." He nodded. Then he stepped forward and buried his face in my coat. That was the moment we got him back. The next few weeks weren't easy. He barely spoke, flinched at doors opening too fast, slept with the light on. Maisie stuck to him like glue, like she thought he might disappear again if she blinked. Maybe she was right. We got him into therapy. Slow steps, no pressure, just presence. He needed to know we were there. One night I found the two of them on the floor of his room, coloring silently. He looked up at me and said, "Can we get pizza tomorrow?" I nodded. That was the first full sentence we'd heard in days. Progress. Megan was charged with reckless endangerment of a child, obstruction, and accessory to custodial interference. She took a plea deal, 18 months in county jail, 3 years probation, and a permanent restriction from working with kids. She cried in court, claimed she never meant for it to happen, said she was just trying to help someone reconnect with their child. The judge didn't buy it, neither did we. She wrote us a letter. I didn't read it. Owen burned it. Theo's biological mother was arrested in Arkansas and extradited. She pled guilty to custodial interference and endangering a child. The fraud charges were dropped in exchange for a psychiatric evaluation and a no-contact order. She was sentenced to 4 years. In court, she said, "I wasn't trying to hurt him. I just missed him. I wanted to fix something I broke." No one clapped. My parents didn't take it well. They said Megan was confused, that she didn't deserve jail. My mother said, "He's not even really yours. Megan is your sister. She made a mistake." I said, "So did you." Then I blocked their number and never looked back. A year later, Theo laughed. I mean really laughed. Full belly, head back, snort at the end kind of laugh. Maisie had done something ridiculous with ketchup and a spoon, and he lost it. Owen and I looked at each other and didn't say a word. We didn't need to. Theo goes to school now. He draws comics. He sleeps through the night. Sometimes he calls me Mom without realizing it. I don't correct him. Today, he and Maisie are out in the backyard. She's bossing him around like she used to, and he's letting her. Owen is beside me. He's reading something, but I can feel him watching too. Everything isn't perfect, but it's ours. We lost him, and we got him back, and everything in between broke something we can never fully repair. But not all things that break stay broken. Some things get rebuilt. We're home now. Did I go too far? Not far enough? I honestly don't know. All I know is that when someone puts your child in danger, there is no such thing as too far. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if this story held your heart even a little, hit subscribe.